Imagine that you deployed a container in prod and it got crashed. Now the question is, should Docker automatically restart it or not? So this is where restart policies come into the picture. In this video, we are going to understand what actually restart policies is, what are its type, why it is important in production environment, and why it is very important when it comes to learning Docker and Kubernetes, right? So without wasting further time, let's get started and understand restart policies and its type. Alright, so let's start with restart policies in Docker. Believe me, this is one of the important topic that you will be learning because the same concept is used in Kubernetes, right? So let's first understand what is restart policy. So restart policies are the defined rules that tells us the behavior of the container. It helps us in managing those containers, right? So how does a container behaves when it is crashed, when our daemon is restarted, when Docker host is restarted? On that scenario, how does a container should behave? That is been defined by the restart policies. So these policies helps to ensure that the containers automatically recover from the failures and maintain the application availability. Now let's consider that there is an application and for that application you require our core services to be up and running every time. How do you make sure that thing is done? So that thing is been made sure by using restart policies. There are multiple sort of restart policies that we are going to see, but for now let us first focus on what actually restart policy is, right? So restart policies are commonly used in DevOps, production environments and microservice architectures while maintaining the uptime, right? Because see, whenever any application goes down, so it will create the downtime. So that's the reason restart policies came into picture, and believe me, this is one of the very important topic that you should learn when it comes to Docker and in Kubernetes, right? So restart policies are configured using the -- restart flag with a starting container. Okay, now one more thing to note down: you can only apply the restart policies on the container during the runtime, but if an container is already running, you cannot apply the restart policies, right? So that was the thing that we have to keep in note. Now we understood what actually is restart policies. Now let us understand why we should consider restart policies in the very first place. So there are 5 reasons. So first is automatically recovery. So now before even we do a deep diver on this thing, let's first understand what will happen. Let's say you're running an Ubuntu container and suddenly you restart your machine or suddenly you restart Docker daemon. What will happen? When you restart it, it will go into exited state. But what if you want it to be up and running? How would you do it? So basically that answer has been answered by restart policies. So the first thing is automatic recovery. If a container crashes due to an application error, Docker can automatically restart it, right? Second is high availability. So important services like web server or API or the core service that need continue availability that can be maintained with the help of restart policies, and that's the reason we should consider restart policies in the very first place. Third is reduce manual intervention. So when you apply restart policies, so we don't have to manually restart the container after the failure has been occurred. Okay. Fourth is a system reboot recovery. Now the current behavior, the default behavior of Docker is none, that is no. So whenever you restart any container, it will go into exited state. But if you want it to up and running even after the reboot is done, then you can make sure that thing with the help of restart policies. So container can automatically start again when the Docker host reboots. Fifth, improve production stability. So restart policies ensure that services stay up and running even during the unexpected failures. So that is one of the big thing why we should learn restart policies in Docker and in Kubernetes, right? So we now understood about why we should consider restart policy and what is restart policies. Now let's do a deep dive into the important part, that is what sort of categories do we have in restart policies. So in Docker we have 4 sort of categories in restart policies, that is no, always, unlearn stop and on failure. So by default till now whatever container we have created, it by default restart policy that was applied on it was no. Now in the coming video we will do a practical hands-on and we will see how we can find out what sort of restart policies is been applied into a container, right? So the default is no, okay, and we can apply always, unless stopped and on failure based on our requirement. Now let's first understand what is the restart policy, what is the meaning of the default one when it comes to restart policies. So when the default when we run any container and we don't even specify the restart policy, the by default restart policy that is been applied is none. So this is the default restart policy when no policy is specified. And what is the behavior? So when a container stops, when a system is reboot, when Docker host restart, okay, so the container remains in the stop state. Docker will not restart the container automatically. You will have to manually do it. So in this case, the container will not restart when a Docker daemon is restarted, when the system will reboot, when the container is crashed or it exited normally, and it will not restart when the container is manually stopped. Okay, so here we have to do the manual intervention. Every time you have to go check and then you have to restart it. Now, since there is no restart policy specified, the container will stop permanently if it exists. So what are the use cases over here? So it can be used in a testing environment, debugging. It can be used in debugging containers. It can be used in temporary containers conditions, and it can be used for short-lived tasks, right? But this policy is not generally recommended for production environments because that environment requires uptime availability. So the by default restart policy that is applied is none, but it is not recommended to used in production. Then what is recommended thing? So it's like the always. So the always restart policies ensure that the container is always restarted regardless of how you stop it. So in this case, Docker will restart the container when the container crashes, when the container exists with an error, when the daemon restart, and when the system reboots. So even if the container fails, Docker will attempt to start it again automatically. You don't have to do the manual intervention. This will be done automatically. In the coming video, I will show you practical hands-on for both the hands-on for all the 4 policies that will give you the clarity how things are being performed. Right now, let's move forward. So what are the use cases of always restart policy? So this policy is best for critical production services. For example, you can utilize always restart policy for web servers, API servers, backend services, microservices, databases. Sometimes if you need uptime availability, right? So if the container is stopped manually, in this case, Docker may still restart it after the daemon is restarted. For time being, during the runtime, the container will be stopped. But when you restart the container or reboot the machine, at that time it will restart again, right? Okay, now let's move forward with the third restart policy, that is unless stopped. So this policy is very much similar to always, but there is only one difference. So what is the behavior? So Docker will restart when the container crashes, when the Docker daemon restart and the system reboots. But if the container is manually stopped by a person, Docker will not restart it. Okay, so here it will give a signal that we want to manage it by our own hand, but the condition is if it is if we didn't provided any manual instruction to stop it, it should again restart it, right? So in that case, we should make use of unless stop. That is the only one difference between always restart policy and unless stop, because here we are putting a manual intervention that for now, for time being, during this runtime, I don't require this service to be up and running. But again, if I restart Docker, if I restart the host, if I restart the server, it should be up and running, right? So if an admin stops the container intentionally, Docker respect that decision and it will stop it during that runtime. But when that system is rebooted, when Docker system is restarted, it will again run the service. So what are the use cases for unless stop? It is commonly used for production services, long learning containers, web application, and internal services. So many DevOps engineer prefers this policy because it gives control against always, because in always, even if you stop it, it will restart it. But again, if you want control over it, you may use unless stop restart policies. Now let's move forward with the last one, that is on failure. So this restart policies is defined specifically for handling application failure. So what is the behavior over here? So Docker will restart the container only if it exists with the non-zero exit code. Okay, so remember when you run docker ps-a, at that time you see that status. So during that status, when you see non-zero code, if you see a zero code, meaning the container run successfully, it finished its job and now it is in exit state. But if there is another number apart from 0, if it is a non-zero character, then it indicates that the application encountered an error. So in this case, Docker will not restart the container if the container exit successfully, the container is manually stopped, the Docker daemon restarts, and the system reboots. Okay. Now let's move forward and understand what are the retry limit. So what is the meaning of retry limit? So you can limit how many times the Docker retry this thing, right? So let's say you stopped a machine. Okay, so let's say a container just got into non-zero. So let's understand retry limit. So basically you can limit how many times the Docker retries it. Okay, so let's say the container exited with error code 1 or 2. Okay, and you want to apply one condition that Docker should retry it for multiple times to restart. Let's say I want to retry it 3 times if it goes into failure. So that thing can be defined with the help of retry limit. So in this case, Docker will restart the container based on the retry limit. So what is the use cases over here? This policy is useful for batch jobs, working container, worker container, data processing job, CI/CD task, background process service. So these workload may fail temporarily but need automatic retries. So in this case, we make use of on failure. Right. So what are the best practices when it comes to restart policies? So avoid default policy in production. So when I say default policy, we are talking about no, none, which is applied by default. So the default no policy should be rarely used in production workloads. Second best practice would be use unless stop for most service. Why? Because this gives us complete control when it comes to Docker container. It provides automatically recovery when along with it respect the manual control. Third is use always for critical infrastructure such as core service. So if the service must never stop, it should be used. It is recommended to use always retry policy, and that would serve as a good option. Fourth is use on failure for jobs. So it is ideal for background tasks that may fail and require retries. So in on failure restart policy, you can define the number of retries for which it should try to restart the container. Okay, don't worry if the theory is going too long, because in the next video I am going to tell you the practical how to do each and everything, how to verify each and everything. The next video may be long, but believe me, this concept will literally blow up your mind. It will give you the clarity how things are working. So when you see things working in action, it will give you the confidence that yes, I know restart policy and I can literally explain it to anyone. Right. So let us do a recap whatever we learned so far. So Docker restart policies allow the container to automatically recover from the failures and system restart. There are 4 sort of restart policies that we saw today. No, that comes with automatically restart container. Second is always, that restart in every situation. Third is unless stop, it restart unless it is manually stopped. And fourth is on failure, it starts only on error. So choosing the correct restart policies helps us to ensure better reliability, stability, and uptime for containerized application. I hope this video made sense. It is one of the most important concept that you should learn in Docker and in Kubernetes. So yeah, that was all for today, and I will see you in the practical hands-on. So that was all, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much and keep learning.